Have you ever walked into a church and felt a sudden chill wrap around you like invisible hands, even when the heating is on and others seem perfectly comfortable? Have you noticed how that cold seems to press against your chest, your arms, your very bones, as if the air itself is trying to speak to you in a language older than words? You fear it at first. You wonder if something is wrong with the building, with your body, with your faith. You pull your coat tighter and try to dismiss it. But deep within you, beneath the fear, there is something else stirring. A whisper that maybe, just maybe, this cold is not a problem to be solved but a message to be received. A sign that heaven itself has taken notice of you. You are sitting in the third pew from the back. The wood beneath you is worn smooth by decades of faithful hands. You can smell the faint trace of incense lingering from morning mass, sweet and solemn. Everyone around you seems at ease. They bow their heads, they fold their hands, but you feel it, that cold. It moves across your shoulders like a breath that does not belong to this world. You glance around, wondering if anyone else notices, but their faces are calm, their eyes closed in prayer. It is only you. The cold finds you and settles over you like a veil, and your heart begins to race. You are not imagining this. You are not making this up. Something is happening, and it is happening to you alone. This is not random. The cold air you feel is not a draft from a poorly sealed window or the quirk of an old building. It is not your imagination running wild or your body reacting to stress. It is a deliberate touch from the unseen realm, a signal sent from the other side of the veil where angels stand in the presence of God and see the prayers rising like smoke from every trembling heart. You have been noticed. Your presence in that sacred space has drawn the attention of heaven, and what you feel is the nearness of the divine pressing into the physical world. The cold is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to wake you, to pull you out of distraction and routine and place you fully, completely in the moment where God is moving. Saint Seraphina, the mystic who walked between worlds and whose visions pierced the heavens, once wrote of this very experience. She said, "The cold I felt in prayer was not of earth, but of eternity, and I knew the angels stood beside me." She understood what so many do not. She recognized that when the spiritual realm draws near, the physical world responds. Temperature shifts, light changes. The air itself becomes charged with a presence that cannot be measured, but can absolutely be felt. Seraphina did not fear these signs. She leaned into them. She allowed them to guide her deeper into communion with the God who loves us beyond all understanding. And now, in this moment, you are being invited to do the same. What is happening in the unseen when that cold wraps around you? The angels are gathering. They move through the sanctuary with purpose, carrying prayers upward and bringing grace downward. They do not have bodies as we do, and their presence affects the atmosphere in ways that defy natural explanation. When they draw close to you, the energy around you shifts. The temperature drops. The air becomes dense with holiness. This is not a punishment. It is not a warning of something dark. It is the exact opposite. It is a sign that you are being attended to, that your soul is being given special attention in this moment. The cold is the fingerprint of heaven upon your skin, the signature of the sacred written across your senses so that you cannot miss it, cannot ignore it, cannot walk away without knowing that something holy has touched your life. You may have thought of yourself as small, unremarkable, one among many who gather in churches every week, faithful but not special, present but not chosen. But God does not see you that way. The weakness you feel, the vulnerability that makes you so sensitive to these shifts in the atmosphere, is not a flaw. It is a sacred gift. You have been made porous to the spiritual world. You have been fashioned in such a way that you can perceive what others miss. The cold that grips you is not a sign of your frailty, but of your calling. You are being marked as one who can stand in the space between heaven and earth, who can feel the movement of grace and bear witness to it. You are called to be a mystic in the marketplace, a contemplative in the chaos, someone who knows that God is not distant and silent, but present and speaking in ways the world cannot hear. Are you beginning to see how this changes everything? How the very thing you thought was a problem is actually your invitation into deeper mystery. This is not about you being more spiritual than others or more holy. It is about you being given a particular sensitivity, a unique capacity to register the nearness of God. And with that capacity comes responsibility. You are not meant to keep this to yourself. You are not meant to hide in the back pew and endure the cold in silence. You are meant to let it transform you, to let it teach you, to let it draw you so close to the heart of God that your entire life begins to radiate with the warmth of divine love, even as your body feels the chill of angelic presence. But how do you know this is truly from God and not just your mind playing tricks or your body reacting to something mundane? Discernment is essential. The divine touch always bears fruit. When the cold you feel is truly from heaven, it will be accompanied by a deep, settled peace beneath the initial surprise. You will feel clarity rising in your thoughts. You will notice compassion stirring in your heart, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. The cold will not leave you anxious or afraid once you recognize it for what it is. It will leave you anchored, centered, aware. If the cold brings only fear or confusion that does not lift, if it leaves you feeling drained or disturbed, then it may not be divine. But if it opens you, softens you, makes you more tender toward God, and more aware of grace moving through your life, then you can trust it. This is the hallmark of the sacred. It always leads you toward love. When you feel that cold wrap around you in the church, there is something you can do, a prayer you can whisper silently in your heart that will help you stay present and open to what God is doing. Pray this simple phrase: Holy Spirit, I am listening. That is all. No elaborate ritual, no complicated formula, just those 5 words spoken from the center of your soul. Let them be your anchor. Let them be your response. The cold will still be there, but now you are not fighting it. You are not afraid of it. You are receiving it as the gift it truly is. You are saying yes to the presence of God moving through your life in ways that cannot be controlled or predicted but can always be trusted. You are not praying alone when this happens. The intercession of the saints, the presence of the angels, the very heart of Christ Himself is inclined toward you in that moment. They see your struggle to understand. They see your willingness to remain open, even when it is uncomfortable. They see the courage it takes to sit in that cold and not run, to stay in that sacred space and let mystery do its work. Holy beings are noticing your faithfulness. They are gathering around you, not because you are perfect, but because you are present. Not because you have all the answers, but because you are willing to ask the questions. You are seen. You are known. You are supported by a cloud of witnesses that stretches back through centuries of believers who have felt the same things you feel and who have walked the same path you now walk. Every time you choose to stay in the cold rather than flee, every time you open your heart in prayer instead of closing it in fear, every time You whisper that simple phrase and mean it with your whole being. Something shifts in the spiritual realm. Angels note it. Saints rejoice over it. God Himself smiles. These are hidden victories that no one else may ever see. There are no cameras recording your faithfulness, no crowds applauding your courage. But heaven sees, heaven knows. And every small act of trust you offer is treasured in the divine memory, woven into the tapestry of grace that covers all creation. You are not doing this in vain. You are not imagining your importance. You are participating in the great work of God in the world, and it is glorious even when it is quiet, even when it is cold, even when no one else understands. Are you beginning to feel the shift? Can you sense how the cold is no longer something to be feared, but something to be welcomed? The sign you once dreaded is becoming a doorway, a threshold, a point of entry into deeper communion with the God who made you, who knows you, who calls you by name and invites you into intimacy that most people never experience because they never slow down long enough to feel the cold. You are being given something rare and precious, the gift of awareness, the ability to perceive the spiritual atmosphere around you and respond to it with faith. This is not a burden. This is not a curse. This is your inheritance as a child of God, as someone chosen not because of your strength, but because of your willingness to be weak enough, open enough, small enough to let God be God in your life. The transformation that begins with cold air in a church does not end there. It ripples outward. It changes how you see everything. You start to notice other signs, other moments when the spiritual realm is pressing close. You feel the warmth of divine presence in the midst of suffering. You sense the movement of grace in conversations with strangers. You recognize the hand of God in circumstances that once seemed random. The cold was just the beginning. It was the first lesson in a curriculum that will take the rest of your life to complete. And you are not alone in this. You never were. Even when it felt like you were the only one shivering in that pew, even when it seemed like no one else could possibly understand, the truth is that you were surrounded by love, held by mercy, guided by wisdom, older than time. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, a year from now. You walk into that same church and the cold greets you again, but this time you do not tense up. You do not look around nervously. You simply close your eyes, take a deep breath, and whisper your prayer. Holy Spirit, I am listening. And in that moment, the cold becomes warmth. Not physical warmth that you can measure with a thermometer, but the warmth of knowing you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are called to do, loved exactly as you are. The sign has trained you. It has taught you to recognize the voice of God in the unexpected, the uncomfortable, the utterly ordinary made extraordinary by divine attention. You have become what you were always meant to be, a witness, a mystic, a living bridge between heaven and earth. Now listen carefully, because this matters more than you know. You need to do something with what you have just learned. First, leave a comment below and tell me this. When was the last time you felt something unexplainable in a sacred space? I want to know your story because your experience matters. Your witness adds to the chorus of voices testifying to the reality of God's presence in our lives. Do not keep it to yourself. Share it. Write it down. Let others know they are not alone. Second, subscribe to this channel because there is so much more to learn. Saint Seraphina's teachings go far beyond this one sign. There are mysteries still to be unveiled, prayers still to be taught, graces still to be received. If you want to go deeper, if you want to keep growing in your sensitivity to the spiritual realm, then you must stay connected. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, make sure you do not miss what is coming next. Third, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You know who they are. The friend who always feels cold in churches and thinks something is wrong with them. The family member who is searching for God but does not know how to find the signs. The stranger online who is hungry for truth and tired of empty promises. Send them this message, tag them, forward it. Do not wait. Do not assume someone else will do it. You are the one who was meant to reach them in this moment. Do not wait another day to step into the fullness of what God is calling you toward. The cold air in church was never meant to confuse you or frighten you. It was meant to awaken you, to alert you to the reality that you live in a world saturated with divine presence, a world where angels walk among us and the prayers of the faithful rise like incense before the throne of God. You have been given eyes to see and ears to hear and skin to feel what others miss. This is your gift. This is your calling, and the time to embrace it is now, not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready or more holy or more certain. Now, today, in this very moment, as you sit with these words and feel the stirring in your heart that tells you this is true. Are you ready to say yes? Are you ready to let the cold become your teacher, your guide, your constant reminder that you are never alone and never forgotten? Saint Seraphina is praying for you even now from her place in glory. The angels are waiting to meet you in that sacred space the next time you enter. God Himself is leaning in, listening for your response, hoping you will choose to step deeper into the mystery instead of running from it. Close your eyes for just a moment after you finish reading these words. Feel the air around you, notice the temperature, and know that even here, even now, in this ordinary place where you sit, the extraordinary is within reach. Heaven is closer than you think. Grace is more available than you imagine. And you, beloved child of the Most High, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Now go, subscribe, comment, share, pray. And the next time you feel that cold air in church, smile, because you will know exactly what it means. You will know that you are being touched by eternity, marked by mystery, called into deeper communion with the God who cannot stop loving you. This is your path. This is your moment. Do not let it pass you by.